Hello, welcome to the Happy Hippie Intuitive. This is Nina and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This is going to be from the 24th to the 30th of October. And I would like to remind you that these readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You will find the link to all my cards below and also timestamps, so you quick and easy can jump straight to your reading once you've made your pick. If you're interested in awakening process and channeled work, then jump on over to my other channel called Awakening with Nina, and it's linked in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get into the reading for this week. So you have 3 decks and 3 crystals to choose from, as always. On number 1 today, we have the Book of Shadows Tarot Volume 2, together with a black tourmaline. On number 2, you have a Ghost Tarot, together with an orange carnelian. And on number 3 today, we have the Tarot of Haunted House, together with Smoky Quartz. So, sink into your intuition. Ask your angels and guides to guide you to pick either number 1, 2, or 3. I'll be back in a moment, and I'll start with number 1. Removing 3 and 2. Okay, number 1, so if you picked the Shadow Tarot together with a black tourmaline, then this is your reading. So, we're going to choose 6 cards as we always do in the weekly. I also have the Magic Fairy Tale dices today, which is kind of a Halloween-y theme, and we have some other oracle cards as well. So, let's get into this week, number 1. So, this is kind of the last week before Halloween, hence the Halloween decorations, as you can see here as well. I even brought out my skull with the tiara today over here. This is one of my most precious Halloween decorations. I really love that one. So it had to come on my table today. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. So let us see what kind of energies you might bump up against this coming week. And listen to Spirit for advice on how to maneuver those energies. So let us pick 6 cards for you. The Knight of Wands, Judgment, Strength, the Hierophant, the Star card. Oh my goodness. Wow. And the High Priestess. Oh my lord. Sorry. This was a very powerful reading, I have to say. And you have the Ace of Swords underneath. Wow. You have 5 major arcana cards here. Yeah, this is a big number 1. Sorry, I just have to have a pastel in my throat because I still cough a lot. I'm having a cold. So, just a second, I just have to have some water as well. Yeah, I've been coughing a lot and still having a cold, so so bear with me, people, okay? Anyway, so I see a huge something big is happening now to you, number 1. The Hierophant is the spiritual teacher, so I don't know if you're the spiritual teacher or if you are in contact with the spiritual teacher, or you are starting up as a spiritual teacher. You know, this is the card of the teacher that has that connection with Spirit. It can also be the card of your connection to Spirit as in a priest, or as in someone that you connect with to get advice from Spirit and so forth. So take that as it resonates. It comes together with the Knight of Wands, and Knight of Wands comes with an offer, a passionate offer. So there might be an offer for you to maybe step into being a spiritual teacher, or there might come an offer as in a course. There might come an offer as in a spiritual teacher for you who wants you to participate in something, or, you know, in that matter. It's definitely an invitation to step into something that has to do with spirituality, for sure, because you also have the High Priestess over here. Okay, and also the Judgment card. The Judgment card is where Spirit comes in with advice for mankind. You know, in the original tarot, it's depicted as Archangel Gabriel coming down to the masses to kind of judge, if you will, but I don't believe that we get judged in that way, but it is kind of the spirit or Holy Ghost or archangel that comes down with information for humanity, if you will. So you have 3 cards here that has to do with very high spiritual connections. So I would definitely say that this has to do with your spiritual journey, has to do with your growth, it has to do with your personal growth, okay? You have the star here as well, which is, you know, your wish has been heard, it has been granted, they are working in your favor. You know, things are going to turn into something beautiful for you. You also have the strength card here. So strength together with the high priestess for me is someone who is really good at that they have a strong connection with spirit. You also have the Ace of Swords and the Hanged Man here as well. Ace of Swords, someone who sees things clearly. It can be an epiphany. It can be also victory. Comes together with the Hanged Man, someone who sees things from a different perspective. So I would say for you, number one, either you're already working within the spiritual field or using that very much in your life, or you are about to. You might also be someone who is thinking outside the box, who sees things very clearly. You might be clairvoyant, since the sword came up. I would also say that you are very passionate, that you have the drive, that you have the want, and you really want to step into this now with the Knight of Wands and the Strength card here. So whatever is happening with you right now, number one, I would say you are strengthening your connection to spirit. You are stepping into something new now regarding your connection to spirit. You are opening up. You are taking on maybe new tasks or researching other ways of using your spirituality or your spiritual gifts. Maybe you have been working mostly with one field and now you're opening up for something different. Something new or expanding. I mean, you might be expanding your spiritual practice. Take this as it resonates. But there's definitely big changes happening, and it also divinely guided. They are with you and they are granting your wishes here is what I see. So let us pull some oracle cards here. I want to use the Shapeshifters Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. So let us see what that deck has to offer us today. It is a very beautiful deck. I have both the old and the new. This is the back, and the new one doesn't have a border, but the old one does. Anyway, so let us just shuffle a little bit here, and we will pull some cards for you, number one. There might also be new messages. You might also be channeling messages right now, number one. Since I see the Judgment card coming up, very often for me, it's a card of they want you to connect because they have messages for you. So that might be a message for somebody out there as well. So let's see what these cards have to say. The unending sadness of looking back. Endless regret, obsessive grief, replaying the past, negative nostalgia. So it might have been that you have been... I feel like that's mostly in your past, though, that you might have been reluctant to move into this because there has been something that's been pulling you back into the old way of doing things. Maybe you had a business where you had kind of put down on paper that this is the way I do things, but now you want to change it. And so there was, then I have to change everything. I have to change the way my website looks. I have to change, a lot of stuff in order to step into the new. So that might be for some of you. For others of you, it might be reluctant to step into your gift because you have been, maybe somebody has been calling you names, or somebody has been very negative Nelly, regarding your spiritual journey here. And so you have maybe been reluctant and holding back, afraid to show who you truly are, kind of. Okay, so that might be why this card pops up. And if you feel like that's something that you're still struggling with, then I would connect with Spirit as they're asking here. And they are definitely with you, and they will put things right for you is what I feel. Okay? So definitely connect and leave these people that are negative Nelly or telling you that you're no good or whatever, leave those behind. Because, yeah, from what I can see here, you are definitely good at what you do, and you definitely have that strong connection with spirit. Wolf Moon, I will watch over you. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I said with the star card here as well. I feel like they are with you and they are rooting for you and they are really putting things in motion for you. Okay? They are watching over you. So that's what they say with that card. Now, one more card. Raised by wolves, you belong. Wow. Yeah, it couldn't be more clear here, number one. They are definitely telling you that you belong in their world. You belong with working with spiritual things or with using your spiritual gifts to your benefit in this lifetime. So you are meant to use your gifts is what I feel here. And if you feel like you want to just use it for your own and for your friends, then you do that. But for many others of you, I feel like you have been invited now to step into being the teacher, to being the one that leads others in this journey. Now, let us look at this magic fairy tale. There are quite a few dices here. So let's see. Whew. Many. Okay, so one that popped out was a book. This says Book of Spells. So for some of you, there might be an invitation to, look up something in a book to learn more, to open up for new knowledge. But for others, it might be Akashic Records, the Book of Records. You need to connect to, because there might be something interesting for you there. And for others of you, there might actually be an invitation to write a book. So take that as it resonates. Now you have a wolf again, and there's two wolves here, so I wouldn't be surprised if wolf is one of your animals, one of your spirit animals that follows you through this journey. Might also be an invitation to connect to nature, connect to animals more. Now this is a cave, and for me that's about seclusion. You need to, as I said, you need to connect, and in order to connect you need to be in silence and alone and in meditation. So I feel like they might be asking you to seclude yourself a little bit from people right now to be able to connect properly. And also if you are someone who is learning something new, opening up something, expanding something, then take your time. This is kind of the Hermit card, right? So take your time with this, okay? Don't rush it and take your time is what I would say. Now you have potions, so something might be toxic, so look upon what is it in your life that is toxic for you right now. It can be food, it can be drinks, but I feel more that it's about energies. So is there some negative Nellies around you, or is there some sort of energies that when you bump up against the energies, you feel like, oof, I don't like that energy. Maybe it's time to say goodbye to that energy, it being people, situations, or whatever it might be for you. But I feel like you need to leave the toxic behind, okay? Now, you got a treasure chest here as well. Beautiful. So there are treasures for you to be had. Together with a star card here, very good feeling for you. Also together with a mermaid, might also be, for me that's a lucky symbol, but it might also be an invitation for water, rinsing with water, drinking more water, spending more time in water, take a salt bath, swim in the ocean, those kind of things, okay? Now you have a broom, and with that I feel like there's time to say goodbye to something, to rinse out something, to clean house, if you will. And that's what I felt also with the poison here. There might be some people or there might be some energies around you that you need to clean house, okay? You need to leave that behind now. Let them go, okay? This for me is about something is very mesmerizing. You might have been previously very mesmerized by a special teacher or by someone, and that might be someone you need to let go of because it isn't good for you. So that might be for some of you. For others of you, I feel like this is a target. It's a kind of aiming for the future. It can also be a labyrinth feeling where you have to walk around and walk around and walk around until you get to the center, meaning it takes the time it takes in order for you to reach your goal. Okay, so it can be read in many ways. Yeah, so that's kind of what I had with that. I feel like this was all I had to share for today, number one. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked the dices here. Feel free to comment in the comment section below if you have any comments on today's reading, or if you want to share what you felt when you saw this reading today. I wish you the very best moving into this week, number one. Until the next time I see ya. Bye. Okay, number 2. So if you pick the Ghost Tarot and the Orange Carnelian, and this is your reading, we will pull 6 cards as we always do in the weekly. We also have some magic fairy tale dice we're going to use today and some oracle cards. I hope you're doing well, number 2. Now you can see that I have decorated a little bit for Halloween already. So we are doing the decoration this week for my house. We started already a little bit, but now this week we are really stepping into the Halloween decorations. So this is getting into the last week before Halloween, so that's very exciting, especially for the children. I have 2 children who is really looking forward to it, so that's going to be fun. Anyway, so let's look at what the week can bring for you, number 2. Okay, so that is Temperance card. Wow, the Hierophant. Now that is the, sorry, I just have to look a little bit closer here. I believe that is the Knight of Pentacles. The 5 of Wands, okay. 10 of Cups. Oh, that's not a knight. I have to look that up, but this is the Knight of Wands. I'm so sorry. I have to, that's the King, so that might be the Page then. Let me just double check so I don't say anything wrong. Yeah, that's the Queen. Yeah, so that's the Page. So this is the Page of Pentacles, and that is the Knight of Wands, okay? Underneath the deck, you have the King of Wands. Okay. Yeah, so, when I see these 2 cards together, I mean, the Temperance card for me is very much about balance. It's also about, it's balancing energies, it's balancing what you eat, what you drink, but it's also about healing for me. Now you have the 5 of Wands, so I don't know if you have been in a situation where your health has been a little bit back and forth, up and down. Maybe, it's you that maybe haven't taken enough care of yourself. Maybe it's some self-nourishment that's needed here. Balancing your energies, having a balance and give and take, take that as it resonates with you. But I feel like there is some sort of imbalance regarding your energy field or your health, okay? And it's in need of some healing is what I feel. So that's one thing. So you have another thing here as well, which is the 5 here, the Hierophant, together with the 10 of Cups. And 10 of Cups is the happy home life, the legacy, the happy family, home life. It can also be moving home or creating a home. But it comes together with the Hierophant, which is a representative for your spiritual person. It can be a priest, it can be a therapist maybe that is in connection with spirit. It can be an advisor, but it can also be you as a spiritual guide for others. When it comes together with the 10 of Cups, I would normally say that it's, that whatever it is that you're doing within the spiritual field affects your family life. And that can go both ways, So there might be an imbalance in how much you spend time in working. If you are working with the spiritual field, how much time do you spend doing that compared to what time do you spend with your family? So that might be for some of you, that there is an imbalance in that. And that if you're working within the spiritual field, maybe it's taking a little bit too much from you, hence the imbalance in your energy field. So that might be for some of you. If you don't work within the spiritual field, I would say this might be a spiritual teacher for you, or you might be leading someone else within your family into the spiritual world as well. So take that as it resonates. You have the Page of Pentacles together with the Knight of Wands. Now, Pentacles can be health. It can be the ground pillars of life, meaning health, work, money. And the Wands is, of course, the fire element. So it is about your passion, your intuitive, or your, what can you say, your want to move forward, your drive, that kind of thing. So when the Knight comes in, he comes in with a passion, okay? The page is more slow, standing still. There might also be an imbalance in that. Wanting to move forward, wanting to things to happen quickly, but things are not. So it's kind of an stop and drive, stop kind of feeling. You also have the King of Wands here. A King of Wands is a leader, okay? He's someone who is very passionate and very fast forward movement kind of a person. But with the Page of Pentacles here, there might be an offer, but it's coming slower than you would want it to come. That's my feeling about it. But I do feel like there is, in general, some imbalance with you right now, number 2. There is something in your energy field that needs balancing, or something about give and take energy. It can be in a work situation. It can be the home life, take that as it resonates. But I do, or it can be, as I said, you wanting to move forward, but something holding you back. So it's kind of back and forth, back and forth. So that's why I'm feeling an imbalance. So when I see the King of Wands here, I also see that there is the Moon card behind here as well. So that might be some inner stuff going on with you as well. But when I see the King of Wands, I feel like it's an invitation to take leadership, to take action on something. And for me as a reader, it looks like you need to take action when it comes to your balance, when it comes to your energy. It can also be how much time you spend on something, okay? How much you give and how much you receive, that kind of thing. So let us also look at some oracle cards for you, number 2. Yeah. Yeah, there might be some inner child healing needed as well, is what I hear, okay? Since I saw the Moon pop up there as well. Yep. A beautiful rat. Take care of yourself. Yep, exactly. That's what I said here as well, that you might need to, balance out something. There's some imbalance. You need some self-care here, okay? Fiona and the Unicorn, the gift of sacred sight. Okay, so that is very, very good together with the Hierophant card here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who sees things clearly, who is clairvoyant, who is in that connection with spirit since the Hierophant came up. And if you don't know it, then this might be a message for you saying that you can, but maybe you need some more practice, or maybe you don't have enough time to sit down and meditate. Maybe you haven't really spent time on working on that connection. And if you feel that that's you, then I feel like this is an invitation to start working on that connection more. The Black Cat. Lost magic. Atonement. Rebalance. Yeah. So it confirms what I've been saying all along, that there is an imbalance happening with you, number 2. Okay? So what that imbalance is, you are the only one that knows, but you need to work on it. The King of Wands here says step it up and work on it, because it's in need of your healing. Okay? So now let's do the magic fairy dice. It's kind of instead of the charms today. Since it's Halloween theme on these. Okay. So you got a wand here, the magic wand. So I do believe that they're inviting you to invite more magic into your life. Allow more magic into your life. As they said, reconnect and make sure that you have the time to connect, okay? So I feel like that's a big invitation. And also saying that you have the magic within you, right? Now you got the Black Cat. For me, that's another sign of someone who is very connected to spirit, who is kind of a spiritual leader. Okay, so that might be you, or that might be somebody else for you. Take that as it resonates. You have the Dragon here. The Dragon for me is about clearing something. I invite dragon energy in when I am in need of somebody cleansing my energy field, or kind of burning away energies that I no longer need. So it is kind of a visual exercise, if you will, that you invite dragon energy in and you visualize them kind of blowing their fire around you and cleansing away all those energies that are stuck to you that you don't need anymore. So it's just kind of a mental thing to do for me. But the dragon energy is also very protective. So there might be that you feel you need protection, or there might be a message for spirit that you are protected. You also have the witch on the broom. So for me, that again tells me, together with a black cat here, that you are definitely someone who is meant to have that connection with spirit developed and to use that connection with spirit. Okay. Now there's a child here with a teddy bear. So I don't know if you have children or if you are a child in need of maybe some motherly care here as well. Might be a mother issue as well for some of you. Or there might be a child in your vicinity that is in need of your assistance or in need of your love and help. Might be grandchildren, or, you know, if you're an aunt or uncle, might be your own children. You know, take that as it resonates. But there is something about a child here. Might also be your inner child, just to have that said. Now you have a troll here. So there might be that you're experiencing some trolls on social media. Maybe somebody has said something bad or something that made you get hurt. Or there might also be the feeling of trolls in your vicinity, as in, you know, that there are some energies around you that you would prefer not to be there anymore. So see what that can mean for you. You have to feel into what that can mean for you, number 2. You also have Merlin here as well. Now Merlin together also with all these other aspects of connection. So you are the magician. This is kind of the magician card, you know. So with that, they're saying that you are the magician of your own life. So that meaning that you have to kind of take the reins here. You have to make it happen for you. They're with you and they're helping you, yes, but you kind of have to do the work though. You also have this little spiral. So things might have been spiraling out of control for you when it comes to your energy. That might be for some of you. For others, this might mean a target, aiming for what you want. And it can also be something that's mesmerizing. That's something that is kind of, we have a Norwegian expression called troll-binded. You know, trolls are very, very much part of the Norwegian folklore. And we can be troll-binded, which means that we are kind of mesmerized by the trolls so that they can do harm. So what this means is that you kind of have to be maybe shook up a little bit to get out of that. It might also be when you are just doing things that you always do, you know, things are just moving ahead like it always do, and something needs to be shook up in order to get you out of that. So that might be for some of you as well. So you have to take that as it resonates with you, number 2. Okay? I feel like that was all I had for this week. I hope you appreciated this reading. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't. Wishing you a beautiful week, number 2. Until the next time I see you. Bye. Okay, number 3. So if you pick the Haunted House Tarot together with the Smoky Quartz, then this is your reading. We will pull 6 cards as we always do in the weekly. I also have some magic fairy tale dice with me today that I always use around Halloween time. These are the ones. And instead of charms today. They are kind of, they have images on them, so they're kind of charms, if you will. But they're kind of a Halloween theme. So I figured it would be fun to use them today. And we also have some oracle cards, as always. Let us look at the week for you, number 3. What do you get? Okay, so the Hermit. The Knight of Swords. No, that's the Page of Swords. Sorry, this is the Knight of Swords. Okay. The Queen of Cups. 7 of Swords. What have you gotten yourself into, number 3? Holy smokes, 9 of Swords. Underneath, the World card. Okay. Okay, I see with the 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords, I mean, lots of sword energy here. So a lot of in the head, in the mind space, maybe in the ego space. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own ego, can be somebody else's ego. But anyways, you know, the 9 of Swords is where we have sleepless nights, where we worry. So it can be, of course, your own ego worrying about something that you really don't need to worry about. But it can, of course, be just that you worry. Now, the 7 of Swords is either where we feel like we have been deceived, where we feel like something has been taken away from us. But it might also be where we say, you know what, I'm going to grab what I can right now and I'm going to get the frick out of here. So, you know, grab whatever you can and run. So it's different ways of reading it, okay? The Page of Swords, it can be new information, but it can also be someone who is communicating in a very childish way. Now, the Knight of Swords can be, of course, someone that cuts the cords, someone that comes in to help, to protect you, but it can also be the card of drama, okay? So you have to feel into whatever I said right now that you feel resonates for you, number 3. But what I see here in the beginning is, you know, the Queen of Cups. She's someone who's very emotional. She's someone who is very loving. She is someone who's very caring and giving. Comes together with the Hermit card. For me, that tells me that you need to give that love to yourself now. Now, the lamp in the Hermit card is representative for connection to spirit. So I would say connecting with your heart and connecting with spirit is very important right now. Sorry, my stomach is growling. I'm hungry. Sorry about that. Anyways, okay, so for some of you, I feel like you've been giving and giving and giving out to somebody. And it's just, you know, you're not getting back what you deserve here. You feel, you know, lost. It's like, oh, I'm doing everything I can here. Why can't this work? And so then I feel like this card is actually important. You need to grab what you can and run because this person or whatever it is not good for you. So that's something I feel for some of you, at least, that you have been giving out love to everybody else and now they're inviting you to give that love to yourself. The World card over here is where you close something off and you start something new. Comes together with the 3 of Pentacles, which is the new start, okay? It's the new beginning, a new start, starting something new, starting the building blocks anew. So for some of you, I feel like this is very much about, you know, saying goodbye to something, putting something to rest now, okay? For others of you, I feel like this might be anxiety, okay? Because this is very much the worry anxiety card. But anxiety, if it comes from the emotional space, it needs to be looked at. It needs to be felt through, and then it will be released. But ego has a tendency to make things look worse than it really is. And if you already have anxiety, then ego is not your friend in that sense. Because then ego is going to make this into being something that it's not. So take that as it resonates with you. But I do see a lot of sword energy here. And I do see that they're very much inviting you into your heart space instead. So I would say definitely this week, number 3, set aside the time to meditate. And that's very much about the Hermit card as well. Going within, going into the connection with spirit instead of being in the mind space. Because, you know, ego will try and figure stuff out. But ego is actually not designed to understand the whole thing. You know, it doesn't understand the concept of this the spiritual journey or the God or source energy. You know, it just doesn't understand it. It will always try and get you back to what it's used to what you learned when you were growing up. That's kind of ego's way of protecting you. It thinks, right? But it's not equipped to understand the spiritual and the heart part of it. So That's why they're inviting you to get out of the head space and into the heart space and into the space where you are in connection with spirit. And put now this old way of doing that behind you. So putting this to rest and stepping into this is what I would say. Okay? So let us pull some oracle cards for you, number 3. Frog Princess. Heed wise counsel and listen. Yeah. So there might be someone that can help you move forward in this. You might have a therapist, or you might have a spiritual teacher, you might have a friend that can help you in this situation. So I would say definitely connect with them, or connect directly with spirit, of course, and ask for their advice. Artemis of the Forest, now you are independent and free. And that's what I feel like they're inviting you to do. They're inviting you to step away from this energy here. Okay? Free yourself from that energy. Of course, if there's something that needs to be felt through, you have to feel it through. You cannot just escape your own emotions. That will never work. It will then come back in tenfold. And the problems will look even bigger. So feel through whatever it is that you need to feel through here, number 3, okay? Yes, stomach, you'll get food soon. Beauty and the Beast. You need some space in a relationship. Oh, yeah. So, you know, again, if this is a person or persons in a relationship, they're definitely asking you to step back now, step into the hermit, take a break, step back and say, okay, I need to contemplate on this. I need to see if you're going to stay or go, okay? From my perspective, it looks like this is going to be it, where you just grab what you can and run. But this is something you need to figure out all by yourself, number 3. Okay? Nobody else can tell you what to do here. If you want to try and mend it, then you mend it. But feel through it something first is what I would say. And then you decide if it's time to just put it behind you. So let us now throw some of these magic fairy tale dice for you, number 3. Woo! Okay, you got a bat? Oh, funny. I just heard you have a bat in the attic. And for some of you, you might have that. But bat in the attic for me is also an expression as to, and it's just for fun, you know. When you have a bat in the attic, that means that you might not might not be there 100%. What do they say? 2 beers short of a 6-pack. But that's just, you know, I don't mean it that way. But, you know, it might be something in your mind. You know, if you're in that mind space, then you're having that bat in the attic, because then something is off a little bit. Maybe ego is the bat, you know. Take that as it resonates. But of course, the bat is a symbol also of the night creature for me. So maybe somebody is up during the night a little bit too much. Maybe you're up during the night worrying, or maybe you are not getting to bed on time. You know, take that as it resonates. You have a little gnome here. Might be preparation for Christmas, or there might be that you have gnomes in the yard. Gnomes in the Norwegian folklore can also be little creatures that are up to no good. They can kind of be the gremlins, if you will. So take that as it resonates for you. Now you have the dragon here. With the dragon, I would say that you are protected. Now you have dragon energy around you, so use that energy to your benefit. Now you have a witch on a broom here, so that of course goes very well with the Halloween theme. Yeah, who's the witch on the broom for you? There can be a positive witch, or it can be a negative witch, you know. And witch can, of course, just be another word of someone who sees things and who's in connection with spirit. But for me, I feel in this reading today, I feel more like it is who's the witch in your relationship, or that, you know, someone is acting like a witch a little bit here. And you are welcome to put be in front of that word as well, if you feel like that is something that fits. Now, you have a tree, that's tree of life. So that might be branches on a family tree. It might be something that's growing for you. It might be that you need to cut off one of the branches. Maybe this is regarding a family member, take that as it resonates. But the tree of life is also, an understanding for me of how things are put together in our lifetime, in understanding how we as a spiritual being are having a human experience. And you are supposed to live the human experience. You're not supposed to your way through life just sitting on a pink cloud. So all of what's happening to you is kind of part of the human journey. It's the experience of being a human. Now, you have a ghost here as well. Maybe there's somebody from the other side, deceased family members, that wants to connect with you. You also have a fairy here. So for me, fairies is very much about invitation to nature, to get outside and be in nature more. So maybe that's something that will benefit you right now, number 3. In the end, you have a top hat. Now, that for me is a very lucky symbol. It's a symbol of wealth as well. So there might be something that will change when you change these energies and put something old behind you. Maybe there's a new offer coming towards you is what I feel with that hat, okay? So there might be a new offer with work, might be an offer with new friendship, might be an offer of new energy. It might be money coming towards you. Just open up for the fact that there might be something totally new coming your way. And I feel like it's a good thing, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I had for you this week, number 3. I hope this made sense. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the reading, and subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell so you get notified. I wish you a beautiful week, number 3. Until the next time I see you. Bye.